Welcome to Capital Currents, where the flow of business news and market trends keeps you ahead of the tide. I'm your watchdog, and today is Friday, August 1st. Today is a blockbuster day all around. We got earnings from Meta and Microsoft that we have to go over, and then we'll preview Figma's IPO, which starts trading today. I got a very stock market focused show for you today. Things got off to a nice start yesterday after the latest GDP report came out, which showed that the US economy grew by 3% in quarter two, which was way better than the 2.3% that was expected. But then by the afternoon, Jerome Powell took the mic, which sent the markets into the red. We've been hyping up the Fed meeting all week, and as expected, they left interest rates unchanged. There's no surprise here, but what did catch investors off guard was Jerome Powell's tone during his press conference. The markets were hoping for some kind of signal or hint that rate cuts will start in the September meeting, but Jerome Powell didn't strike that tone. In fact, he came out sounding kind of hawkish. Let's run through some headlines. Starting with Meta. Meta reported earnings last night and they crushed it, beating expectations across pretty much every metric. Revenues in Q2 jumped 22% to $47 billion, beating the Wall Street estimates of $44 billion. And profits did even better. They were up 36% to $18 billion. So clearly, Meta's core business, which is advertising, continues to see solid growth. And don't expect things to slow down anytime soon. Meta expects revenue growth to be between 17 to 24% in this current quarter. Mark Zuckerberg credits the company's investments in AI for unlocking gains in their ad business. And that's why Zuck is tripling down on AI with massive investments. We've talked about Zuck assembling his superintelligence team, where he's handing out 9-figure NBA-sized contracts to AI engineers to join his company. But beyond that, Meta plans to spend $72 billion this year on capital expenditure, most of that going towards building AI infrastructure like data centers. So yeah, Zuck is not backing down on AI, and he's going all in, and investors are loving it. Meta stock is up more than 10%. Let's switch gears and talk about Microsoft now. They also had blowout earnings thanks to AI supercharging their cloud business, and the headline was Microsoft's Azure cloud computing division grew 39% last quarter, better than the 34% that analysts had expected. This is the first time Microsoft actually ever disclosed revenue figures for Azure, so you know that the numbers must have been good to keep it to themselves. And that growth is translating into profits, which also beat estimations. Net income was up 24% compared to Q2 of last year to over $27 billion. That's all the business headlines I have for you. Let's take a look at some stocks making moves. Oh, you know we're going to talk about it. How can we not? The collaborative design platform is making its public debut today, and this is shaping up to be one of the most hyped IPOs of the year. Figma is pricing their IPO at $33 a share, which is already up 250% when it started trading. That pricing gives the company a valuation of over $19 billion, which is funny because that's pretty close to the $20 billion value that Adobe tried to acquire them at back in 2022. The deal was ultimately scrapped after regulators blocked it for antitrust concerns, and that $20 billion valuation turned into a $50 billion valuation in one day because of the demand. You know what? I'm feeling good today. We're not going to have a flip side. It's Friday. Come on, let's do another big gainer today. Carvana stock is booming after the online car retailer posted record-breaking used car sales. In fact, Carvana's numbers were solid across the board. Their revenues jumped 42% and net income was up 6x. What's interesting about Carvana's business model is that most of its profit come from loan sales and not car sales. This past year, loan sales accounted for $274 million of its $308 million in profit. Remember in yesterday's episode, we talked about Harley-Davidson selling 20% of their loan business? It's because that's where the money really is. Carvana stock is up more than 15% this morning, and it's up more than 10,000% since 2022 lows. Honestly, Carvana is like a meme stock that just never stopped memeing. It just keeps going up. That's all for today's show. Keep navigating those waters and see you tomorrow.